What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we have a lot of stuff that we need to discuss. First off, I just want to wish everybody a very happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you all have a very good day, are able to spend it with your friends, your family, and all your loved ones. But we do have a bunch of stories that I want to get to today, so let's begin. First, we're going to talk about how theft is going to increase the prices for the American consumers. We're going to address that. We're going to talk about some holiday scams, what you need to watch out for, what is happening right now, and actually has happened over the fall and the summer as well. So it is something that you may not realize that you've been a part of, but this is happening. So I want to address what's going on there and how police are warning shoppers to be careful this holiday season. We are going to address the IRS tax warning on that $600 threshold for third-party payments. I have some warnings there because I actually have a very close friend that kind of made a mistake very recently, and I want to address what's going on because I think this is something that is going to increase, and a lot of people are going to be negatively impacted by this holiday season. We are going to address President Biden's payment pause, the purpose behind this, and lastly, we will address what's going on as far as the railroad strike, what the negotiations are looking like, and what is happening with the unions. So that's what we're going to address in today's video. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. But let's begin. So first off, if you are a Target shopper like I am, well, Target just announced this past week they have seen more than $400 million in profit loss so far this year. Now, the reason for this is due to inventory shrinkage, or what we also call the disappearance of merchandise. Over the past 12 months, all retailers, Walmart, Target, Kohl's, Best Buy, doesn't matter, every single one has stated that theft has increased. Now, unfortunately, this is going to increase the cost for the American consumers. This always happens. What I can tell you right now is that stores are increasing their security cameras, they're adding steel cables to higher end products that are highly sought after, and even some stores are going as far as installing plexiglass cases to store their products. Either way, retailers say that the prices will go up, and this is all due to the increased amount of theft over the past 6 to 12 months. Now, I'm in no way condoning theft in any way. Okay? I don't think that's the way you should get stuff, but we have seen this many times before, and when you look back in history, when consumers have less disposable income, theft normally increases. Now, unlike in previous years where lower income communities get hit the hardest, now what we're seeing is very affluent areas get hit as well. For instance, Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, that gets hit as well. And almost every single one of those stores has a security guard or team right there in the store. So that's very important to understand. And let's talk about these holiday scams, because right now that we are in the beginning of the holiday shopping season, I really want you guys to understand what's going on and be prepared, as some of these scams will happen to you. Now, this happens every single year, but I just want to put this warning out there, and hopefully if it just protects one person that is watching this video, then I've done my job. Now, here's what I can tell you. Police are warning shoppers to be careful this holiday shopping season. One of the scams that happens each and every year is people get their credit card or debit card information stolen. But they don't get anything charged to their cards until the time is right. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, here's what normally happens. Many times information is stolen from credit cards or debit cards or whatever months in advance. For example, let's say over the summer. Scammers wait until the holiday shopping season begins because, according to scammers, it is less noticeable. And that's true. I don't know the amount of times that I've looked at a statement and saw a transaction that I didn't authorize, but it was done in the summer or in the spring or the fall, not in the winter, not during the holiday shopping season. But now I'm more aware of what's going on, because scammers wait until the holiday shopping begins because people are buying more stuff. They're spending more money. And police are saying that we should check our accounts each week to ensure that there aren't any unauthorized charges, and if there are, report them immediately. Now, here's one other thing that some advice I was given is do not use a debit card. Here's the reason why. When you use a debit card, that is your money, right? So when I take my debit card, and I scan it, if something happens or that money is stolen, that's my money. So the bank is going to want me to dispute all that stuff. However, when you use a credit card, the credit card is that company's money. For example, let's say American Express or Visa or MasterCard, right? Capital One, doesn't matter, right? You go to that company, you get a credit card. Now they have to, for one, they need to prove that you were the one that actually used it. It's their money. They're going to fight for you. They're going to fight for you. So that's why financial experts, and I've heard this from many millionaires and a couple billionaires as well, do not use debit. Use credit, and that is all they use. Now, here's the other scam. This is where you get an email or a text message from what looks like a very reputable company. For example, just recently, I received a text message from Netflix. Netflix was sending out a text message. Oh, they're just such a nice company. Just to make sure that my banking information was updated because, well, they didn't want me to get blocked. And nobody wants to get home from work or from wherever, or trip, and go to sit down on the couch and Netflix account's blocked. Well, here's the thing. Netflix didn't send out this text message. Okay? Netflix isn't worried about your account being blocked, right? What happens is people get your phone number. A lot of people have a Netflix account or a Hulu account, right? So what do? They try to attack you and get your information when you're most vulnerable. Well, a lot of people clicked on this link. They updated their banking information, but nothing happened. Guess what? This ties into what I just talked about, is people will get your banking information, wait until the right moment, and then they will use it when you're least expecting it. So if you got one of these messages or a text message or an email, you clicked on the link, you put in your information, but nothing happened. It probably wasn't a scam because nothing happened. Well, just understand the scam part, they've taken your information, they just haven't used it yet. They're waiting. So that could happen very soon. So be on the lookout for that. Now let's get to the IRS tax warning. What is the IRS telling us right now? Well, here's what you need to know. The $600 threshold for third-party payments, this is going to happen this year. The IRS just warned us this week and told taxpayers that this will be sent out this year. So be ready. If you collect more than $600 in payments, you will get the 1099K. Okay? Now, I want to give you this warning because it happened to a good friend of mine just the other day. Now, what happened was my friend was at Home Depot. Now I'll give you the long story. I'll shorten it up for you. He was at Home Depot, saw a couple tools that he knew his cousin has been looking for. So he called his cousin, asked, hey, do you want me to pick these up for you? His cousin said yes. Once he delivered the tools the next day or whenever, he delivered to his cousin's house. He didn't have the money, but he told him he'd just pay him through Venmo. No big deal. Well, what happened was, and this is where the problem starts, is his cousin thought he was paying for goods, right? Or a service. So he paid him for goods. Well, technically, I guess they're for goods, but really his cousin, all he did was just deliver them to him. All he wanted was the money. He necessarily wasn't selling him a new product. So in this case, what should have happened, at least according to a lot of the information that I've received, is you don't go and pay for goods. Not if you're just paying somebody back for something. For example, like a meal. Instead of splitting the meal and each person puts in their credit card and you split it, right? One person just pays the entire thing and then you send them half of it on Venmo or wherever, right? Cash App, doesn't matter. But his cousin put the transaction in as paying for goods. This means that, and I don't know how much it costs, didn't really ask, but this means that that would be added to his total. And if it goes over $600 for the year, well, he's going to have to pay taxes on that. Now, I know a lot of people sell products over the holidays, scarves and blankets and cookies and gingerbread houses, so on and so forth. Those things, if you pay through Venmo, yes, you pay for goods. But let's say you're out, you go to the reindeer farm this holiday season, or you go sledding or you go skiing, and you got to pay for your ticket, right? Well, let's say your cousin pays, or your brother or parent pays for you, then you go and reimburse them for your share. Well, in that case, it's just a reimbursement. It's a friends and family type thing. All right? So don't pay for goods if that's not exactly what you're getting. Okay? Just want to be clear on that, because I know the IRS is sending out these warnings for us to be prepared. They're going to come after us. Okay? They will come after us this year. So if you are not ready for it, well, be ready. Get ready, because it is happening. Now, I do want to talk about President Biden's payment pause really quick, because this is something that also happened this week, is that President Biden extended the student loan payment pause from December 31st through to June 30th, 2023. Now, reading through comments here on YouTube and also over on Twitter as well, many people are saying that President Biden did this because he doesn't have the legal authority to forgive student loan debt en masse. Now, I want to be very clear on this, because this is something that we've speculated on for a while. And this is the worry, that he didn't have the ability to forgive student loan debt. However, as of right now, the courts are simply blocking this, all right? Blocking the forgiveness from going through at this point until they can get more information. Now, this is the only reason why the payment pause has to be extended once again. But there's also a possibility that student loan forgiveness will go through. So for all those people that are saying, nope, courts are blocking it, it's never going to happen, it can still happen, but it will probably take a little bit of time. My guess is it's not going to happen in 2022 no matter what. It will get pushed into 2023. So we'll see what happens there. And let's talk about the railroads for a second, because what we do know is that the unions are headed back to the negotiation table to hopefully avoid a strike. Well, this is good news, because as of right now, we do not have a deal. And this is part of the problem. This is also why the U.S. Chamber of Commerce is calling on Congress to settle this rail dispute. They want them to do this very quickly, because as of right now, things are not looking so great. Now, one thing I can tell you is that according to multiple reports, the union is frustrated. They don't know where to go, because the railroads are wanting a deal, not even the deal that's on the table. That was something that they had to be kind of pressed for. But the union, they're trying to negotiate this deal. However, we got the third party, or the middleman with President Biden's committee, like they're negotiating as well. So according to the rail president, he thinks that Congress is going to panic and they will step in before a strike actually occurs. So we're going to have more information on this very soon. And as we do, I promise I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a very happy Thanksgiving. Make sure you go ahead and do two things. Hit that like button, click the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys on the next one.